To Martinsville, let's take a look at the speed chart and longer runs in this second practice of the weekend.
So, Rick, you were talking about averages and Jamie McMurray, how good he was on the averages, but the teams look at the lap times a little bit different. So you see right here, it's basically a line graph with the time on the left. So the idea is you want to be low. Down on the screen is a faster time. And then as the longer they run, they move out to the right in that direction right here. So you see Kyle Larson is the red graph, Trevor Bayne the green, Jamie McMurray the blue. Well, you can see Kyle Larson, he starts maybe a little slower than Jamie McMurray, doesn't have as fast of a lap. But then out here, they kind of cross over. And you see both Larson and Jamie McMurray, in my opinion, are really good on the long run. Trevor Bayne is a little bit off on speed early in a run, but then he also has a few of those laps we see really slow, Jeff. I assume that's traffic.
It's probably traffic, and that's what we see in the race. We see these huge spikes in speed differences because of race traffic, especially when you qualify in the back. You're never going to run this fast when you're in traffic. The only time you're ever going to run any of these speeds is when you're out by yourself. But you can see the red graph of Kyle Larson as it gets further down and the longer laps he runs, he has the better car. You could average that out because somebody can start the first 10 laps and be quicker and the last 10 laps and be slower, and you look at the averages and you say, well, they're running the same. Well, no, they're not running the same. One's better, one's one to run than the other.
And the other big issue is, even if two cars run the same lap time by themselves, what are the handling characteristics? So when they catch a lap car, today in practice, they're pulling over to the left, letting you go in the straightaway. They're not going to fight you real hard, but they're still going to fight you more than that. So does your car drive, Jeff, what are you looking for? When I say a car needs to be good in traffic, what does it need to do to be good through traffic here?
There's race pace and there's by yourself qualifying pace. And so in race pace, it's all about from here to the straightaway. So you've got to be able to turn the exit of the corner. You're not going to beat anybody through the middle of the corner once you catch them. You can catch them by carrying speed through the middle of the corner. It's very important. You can't be slow through the middle, but if your car is built on corner entry speed and early middle of the corner speed, when you catch somebody, you'll never pass them. You've got to build your car, the setup in your car, and drive it the right way so that from 2/3 away around the corner. So right now, if somebody was in front of Larson, he would try to turn right now and try to get underneath him. So it's 2/3 around the corner where the car really, really has to run well, because that keeps someone from passing you and it allows you to pass someone.
Jeff, so many times we'll hear, I don't drive that way, or I don't want to be raced that way. At a place like Martinsville, where it's so tight, so difficult to pass, do you feel it's all right to put the bumper to a guy and let him know, hey, I'm here? Or do you want to pass a guy without having to use the bumper to push him out of the way?
Well, you want to pass a guy without having to use the bumper, because if you use the bumper, you have to understand when they catch you, they're going to use the bumper on you. It's a lot of fans watch the races and they say, I just knock him out of the way. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can do that, but guess what? They're going to knock you out of the way too. So you try to be respectful and you try to race people the way that you'd like to be raced. I believe you give them the opportunity to do that, and when they don't, then they've made the rules. So if a guy's going to knock you out of the way, then he's giving you permission to knock him out of the way, and that's the way it works.
And it's even more complicated than that, because in the top 8 or 10 races, in the top 8 or 10 position, it's really a chess game going on. So you look at Kyle Larson, a young driver, he has to learn that chess game. You go to perhaps the driver that's won here more than anyone else in the 88 of Jeff Gordon. He understands that chess game, and you don't understand what I mean, Jeff. When you drop the green flag and these cars fight to the bottom, once they get to the bottom, these drivers decide how fast they want to go. How much rear tire do they want to use? And Jeff Gordon is very, very good at saying, this is it. I'm going to run this pace. And if Kyle Busch behind me is too big of a hurry, I'm going to pull to the left and I'm going to let him go. Because I feel like in 40 laps, he's going to come back to me very quickly because his car is going to fall off. So while it's popular to say they're driving every lap the hardest, that isn't how you win Martinsville. How you win Martinsville is understand that a long run here is long, right? Very long. So you have to take care of your equipment.
It's a 500 lap race, and you have to think about, you will run into, maybe not literally, but you will be around drivers multiple times in a race. So how you race them will determine how they race you. And none better at this racetrack than the 88, driven by Jeff Gordon this week, filling in for Dale Earnhardt Jr. with 9 wins.